say this a couple of times. I have a sentence that I want you to say. There's two parts, so can you guys say, God is with us?
God is with us.
And He will protect us.
And He will protect us.
Can you say it all together?
God is with us, and He will protect us.
Very good. Now, one question. You know Uncle Bruce over there, right? Well, you know how tall he is. Well, imagine Uncle Bruce and then put Johnny and Sarah on top of him. That's about how tall Goliath was. That's pretty tall. Now, who of you have an older sibling? Who of you have an older brother or sister? Johnny, I think you have an older brother. Well, you know that sometimes if your mommy and daddy need help and they go and ask your brother and sister, not you? Well, that's how David felt. You see, when the war was going to break out with the Philistines, the people of Israel needed all the help they could get. So when David's daddy said they needed help, David asked to help, but he said, sorry, you're too little. Yeah, David had 8 brothers. That's a lot. So, but then eventually he did go there when they needed food. Because, obviously they're going to go hungry if they're going to go fight. But, so when David went over there, and he saw Goliath, everyone was hiding. He asked, why are you all hiding? His older brother goes, didn't you see the size of him? But there's just one verse that said, and David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth the Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is the uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the army of the living God? David knew something that the rest of the people didn't. He knew they had God on his side. But no one wanted to fight him because they were all scared. But David offered to fight him. But everyone's like, oh no, you're too little. Have you ever been told you're too little to do something before? Yeah. A sledgehammer? Heard of that before. But, so they kept telling that to David. But David knew that he had God on his side. Can you guys say that sentence with me one more time? God is with us, and He will protect us. And David knew that. So then he went to the king at the time, and so I'll just read you a couple of verses. And when the words were heard, which David spoke, they rehearsed them before Saul, and said to him. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to a fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. What he's trying to say is that David was too young, and Goliath was really old, and he was a lot bigger than David. But eventually, David convinced Saul to let him go. And then Saul tried to give him his armor, but he said, no, I haven't earned this yet. So then, when he went out to fight with Goliath, and you guys know how it ended, because you sang it today with Mr. Bailey. He took 5 smooth stones, and 1 stone went through the air, and the giant tumbled to the ground. And then everyone was all happy for David and everything. But the only reason he knew that is because of God. And the only reason David could do that is because of God. And with his help, and because David was such a faithful servant, God helped him win the battle. And there's a part that I could tell you, but I don't think that's really appropriate for right now. But the get across is, even though you guys are little, you still mean something to God. God still loves you, He knows you're there, but He still loves you, and you can help Him. Once when I was listening to Mr. Stately speak back there, he said that sure, you may not be old, and you may not be able to speak in front of a lot of people, but you have to lead by example, which is, I have to be able to tell people my own age and have to help them with their walk with God. And I'm going to help you guys with your walk with God. And that's what you guys should do to each other. You know, if you ever need help and you have no one to talk to, God is always there with you. And that's why, and then David knew that. And that's why he was able to help him. Or, if you just, nothing, you don't have to be in trouble to talk to God. God, you can just talk to God whenever you want. God always likes to talk to you, and He will never reject you. Now I have a question I want you guys to answer. How many stones did David pick up? Connor? That's right. Can we say, I want you guys to say that sentence again. 1, 2, 3.
God is with us, and He will protect us.
That's awesome. And as I said before, God is always with you guys. And you know, if you guys ever need help and you need someone to talk to, there's all these leaders that are here to help you too. There's Mrs. Miller, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Vanderform, Mr. March, and you know, even the younger people, Stephanie and Emily, they can still help you too. Any question at all, go to them, and they won't reject you. Another question. How many stones did David use with the sling? Rosie? Not 3. What's your name? Pardon? Nolan? How many stones did David use?
5.
That's how many he picked up, but how many did he use in the sling? Luke?
1.
That's right. So he picked up 5, but he only needs 1. Because, as we said in the song, just that one stone, and that Goliath, he just went right to the ground. Yeah, but, alright. So I'm just gonna finish off by closing in prayer, okay? Shh. Don't go ahead. Dear Heavenly Father, I'd like to thank you for your Son that you sent down to die on Calvary. We pray that you gave us, we thank you that you gave us people like David that are here that we can use as an example to show people that even though we may not be the biggest or we may not be the tallest, we are still important to God. I pray that these children have taken in what I said and can use this. And I pray these things in your Son's most precious and holy name.
Amen.
Okay, so what do we say to Mr. Bailey?
Thank you, Mr. Bailey.